there's room to grow.
It's happened. You're pregnant. Now, once you're over the initial excitement or shock, there are plenty of things you need to do. Here with us today is Amanda to discuss these issues. Now, Amanda, you're a perfect position to talk about this because you are currently pregnant. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're, what, about 6 months pregnant?
Yeah, 27 weeks.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, you have had, well, you've been pregnant before, haven't
Yes,
you? You've got another child.
Yep, my other son is 1.5 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, just dealing with this pregnancy alone, what sort of things have you done to prepare yourself for the pregnancy?
To prepare myself, well, my husband and I did plan for it, so I knew that it was coming. So it was exciting. It wasn't a shock. No,
okay, good.
It wasn't a shock. So that was quite exciting.
Yeah.
Basically, I didn't really change much in terms of preparing for it because it was a planned pregnancy. I generally try to live a good lifestyle anyway, so in terms of food, what to eat, exercising and a whole bunch of issues. So I haven't really changed too much. I haven't had to prepare because it is second time round. So I was
How is it
aware.
different from like this time round to the first time of you being pregnant?
First time round, I read absolutely everything that there was to read. I read books, I read magazines, I was on the internet. Whereas this time around, I'm a little bit more relaxed. Not to say you know everything, because I'm still learning things second time round. I kind of know what to expect and not so worried if, I feel like I've got a stitch or I've got pains in my stomach. A couple of differences is this time, pretty much the bathroom is my second home at the moment with my second pregnancy. Whereas first time round, I didn't really have any like side effects or complications.
Is it because of the pelvic floor, do you think, from giving birth the first time round? It does sort of wear and tear on your pelvic floor just a tad?
Yes, it does, because I have noticed if you do sneeze, you have to be careful.
So what sort of things do you avoid with your diet or increase in your diet?
Just from what the doctors have told me, the soft cheeses because of listeria, the cold...
Listeria being a type of bacteria.
A type of bacteria, that can affect you and your baby. Also with the cold meat such as salami and ham, I try to eat quite healthy. So I've pretty much stuck to the diet that I had before, although now I only have 1 cup of coffee a day.
What was your diet before?
Just the salads, the vegetables, fruits, meat.
So no deep fried things?
Some days, look, I have
those cravings.
Some days I have those days where anything salty, and then some days it might be something sweet. So, for example, chocolate. If my body says something sweet, I'm like, okay, no, that's good. Let's go and get some chocolate. But I just listen to my body. I think everything in moderation, you can't go wrong.
That's true. So have you had any particular cravings?
Look, second time round pretty much is just fluids. I just can't seem to get enough of fluids. And I try to drink water.
And what about with exercise? You're taking it easy?
Well, with my first son, I was going to the gym up until I stopped work. So that was up till 7 months.
Wow.
And I was not doing the gym exercises in terms of the weights and the heavy operated equipment. I was just more walking. But I did find it difficult towards the end when I was walking on inclines or I was doing a brisk walk. I did find it
just
quite
a little bit difficult.
Yeah, and short
surprised.
breath. And so it was just an easy walk. It was like a walk in the park. So that was quite simple. Whereas now I've got a toddler. Pretty much I run around after him and like picking him up.
How do you do that with carrying a baby and running after a child as well? How do you manage?
I think you kind of just deal with it when you're in that situation. It's sometimes when you pick him up, it might hurt on the stomach, or you stretch. You go to pick him up on the side, and you might feel a stretch in the side. But generally, I mean, little bits of bursts of running around with him, chasing him, playing peekaboo and stuff. So
now, the first trimester generally, some women or a lot of women are quite tired. Did you suffer from fatigue?
Extremely, yes. I just wanted to set up a pillow and a blanket at my work, which I'm not there anymore. But I would have loved to have gone to sleep. I was so tired and exhausted. Driving home, it's very dangerous in the car because you start to like nod off and close your eyes, and you're like, oh, I have to wake up. So I felt that very much so in the first trimester in both pregnancies where I was extremely tired.
So what would you recommend? Just to sleep when you can?
Sleep when you can and take it easy,
Because that's like the first trimester is pretty amazing if you break it down to what is actually going on in terms of the development of the fetus. It's like just going in overdrive, superdrive of developing itself.
It is, and people can't understand that because they're seeing you and you look normal from the outside, but you're like, hang on, I'm creating eyebrows here, and
That's
I'm creating
right.
a nose, and you just can't see it.
It's
So
like toenails are being established as we speak.
pretty much. So yeah, it is exhausting.
What's some other sort of tips that you can give us, given this is your second pregnancy and you're a lot more relaxed with it now that you know what you're going through? What's some tips that you can give first-time mums who just found out they're pregnant?
It's hard first time round because people always say enjoy it, don't stress yourself out, try not to be emotional because a baby can sense it all. And you know what, if we could turn our bodies on and off in terms of emotion and stress, well, yeah, that's great. We'd probably do that every day, but try and enjoy the pregnancy and just take it day by day. And one day you will look back at it and say, oh, you know, when I was pregnant. And it's sometimes a little bit hard if people have morning sickness the whole way through, or the tiredness, the crying, and you become emotional. And there are quite a few things that do happen within that first trimester, but it does pass. And
just write it out.
And write it out, and try and enjoy it to the best that you can.
And I think it's also just educating your partner too, getting your partner to read up about it so they understand what you're going through.
Definitely.
Or family members as well, because as you said, you know, from the exterior, it doesn't look like much at all, but on the interior, a lot's going on.
Yeah, and if you just burst into tears and just like, oh, it's like you must be going through a difficult time, or something might have happened that triggered you off, and that they need to understand that they need to be there as a support person. And
it's okay to be irritable sometimes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I wish you all the best with your ever-expanding family.
Yes, thank you.
And you'll see, yes, you'll see.